They say actions speak louder than words. But what if silence could be your greatest weapon? What if I told you that the most attractive thing you can do is nothing at all? We live in a world obsessed with noise. Everyone's vying for attention, shouting their opinions, trying to be the loudest voice in the room. But true power, true magnetism, that comes from stillness, from knowing your worth without having to prove it. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that the guys who try too hard, who throw themselves at every woman in sight, they rarely get the girl? It's because they're coming from a place of insecurity, of neediness, and women can sense that a mile away. Welcome to the Evolved Man, where confidence is silent and attraction is effortless. Today I'm going to show you how to attract women without saying a single word. No cheesy lines, no games, just raw masculine energy. If you've ever said, "Hi, you look beautiful," and got hit with the dry "thanks," this video's for you. Because you're about to learn that the strongest impression you make isn't with your words. It's with your presence. Women don't fall for words. They fall for the vibe. When a man walks into a room with intention, with control, with grounded energy, she feels it in her body before a word is spoken. Think about the guys who effortlessly attract women. It's not about their looks, their money, or their pickup lines. It's about the energy they radiate. It's about the way they carry themselves. There's a guy I know, never brags, barely talks at parties, but every girl gravitates toward him. Why? His silence isn't awkward. It's magnetic. He doesn't need to chase attention because he's already comfortable in his own skin. And that, gentleman, is irresistible. In a world of noise, silence becomes power. When you're comfortable in your own skin, when you don't need validation from others, that's when you become truly attractive. Now you might be thinking, "Matt, this sounds great and all, but is there any science behind this?" Absolutely. Studies have shown that people who are comfortable with silence are perceived as more confident, more intelligent, and more attractive. Think about it. When someone is constantly talking, trying to fill every silence, it often comes across as insecure, as if they need to prove something. But when someone is comfortable with silence, it conveys a sense of inner peace, of self-assurance. It's the difference between chasing approval and commanding respect. And trust me, women can spot that difference from a mile away. They can sense who's comfortable in their own skin and who's putting on a show. So, how do you cultivate this air of quiet confidence? It starts with understanding the power of nonverbal communication. Your body language, your energy, the way you hold yourself, these speak volumes before you even open your mouth. And the beauty is, you don't need to be a master manipulator to use this to your advantage. The key is authenticity. Women can spot a fake a mile away, but when you're genuinely comfortable in your own skin, it shows. Think about a lion stalking its prey. It doesn't need to roar to assert its dominance. Its presence alone is enough to command respect. That's the kind of energy we're cultivating here. The quiet confidence that makes you stand out from the crowd. The kind of presence that makes her lean in and say, "Tell me more." Here's what women notice before you even say hello. It's not your shoes, it's not your watch, it's not even your winning smile, although that helps. It's your body language. Your body is constantly sending out signals, whether you realize it or not. And women are hardwired to pick up on those signals. So what message are you sending? Posture. Stand like a man who owns space, not in an arrogant way, but with a quiet confidence that says, I'm comfortable here. Shoulders back, chest open, head held high. You'd be surprised how much of a difference this makes. Eye contact. Now, I'm not talking about creepy staring, but steady, calm, grounded eye contact. When you lock eyes with a woman, hold her gaze for a beat longer than you normally would. Not in a challenging way, but with a quiet intensity that says, I see you. Movement. Slow. Controlled. Like you're in no rush for anyone's approval. Avoid fidgeting or pacing. It makes you look nervous and unsure of yourself. Remember, you're not trying to impress anyone. You're simply existing in your own space, comfortable and confident in your own skin. Smile, or not. A genuine smile can be incredibly disarming, but don't feel like you need to plaster a fake grin on your face all night. Sometimes a smirk, a knowing glance, a look that says, I'm in on the joke, can be far more intriguing. Mystery is greater than desperation. Think James Bond, not a lost puppy. Remember, the key is to be genuine. Don't try to be someone you're not. Just relax, be yourself, and let your natural confidence shine through. Guys, let's talk about something most dating advice gurus won't tell you. It's not about your six-pack, your car, or even your killer opening line. Sure, those things can help, but they're just the surface. What truly captivates a woman, what makes her lean in and crave your attention, is something much deeper. It's about the energy you carry. Think of it like this. You walk into a room and see two guys. One is ripped, perfectly styled, but he's got this anxious energy, constantly scanning the room for validation. The other guy? He might not be conventionally hot, but he's got this quiet confidence, this self-assuredness that draws you in. Who do you think has more options? See, women are incredibly intuitive. They can sense your energy before you even make eye contact. They pick up on your insecurities, your desperation, your need for approval. And trust me, nothing is a bigger turnoff than a man who hasn't learned to master his own energy. So how do you cultivate this magnetic energy, this aura that makes you irresistible? It starts with understanding that true confidence comes from within. It's about owning who you are, flaws and all, and walking through the world with a sense of purpose and self-worth. Let's be real. We've all been there. That feeling of not being enough, not rich enough, not fit enough, not funny enough. But here's the thing. When you walk around carrying that baggage, it shows. It seeps into your interactions, your body language, even your silence. And the worst part? It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You exude insecurity, she senses it, and suddenly, you're living out the exact scenario you feared the most. But here's the good news. You can change this. You can shift your energy from one of lack to one of abundance. It starts by addressing the root of your insecurities. Are you unhappy with your physique? Hit the gym, not to impress her, but for you. Feeling stuck in your career? Find your passion and pursue it relentlessly. Remember, women are drawn to men who are on a mission, men who are actively building a life they love. When you prioritize your own growth and fulfillment, you become a beacon of positive energy. And that, gentlemen, is what makes you truly irresistible. Now, this doesn't mean you need to be the loudest guy in the room or the one with the flashiest possessions. In fact, some of the most attractive men I know are the ones who are comfortable in their own skin, the ones who don't need to prove anything to anyone. They walk into a room with a quiet confidence, a sense of self-assuredness that speaks volumes. They're not trying to impress, they're simply being. And that, my friends, is the key. Your energy should say, "This is me. I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm living my best life." If you want to be a part of it, great. If not, that's okay too. It's about having strong boundaries, knowing your worth, and not settling for anything less than what you deserve. When you embody this energy, you become a magnet for the right kind of woman. A woman who is drawn to your authenticity and your unwavering sense of self. So gentlemen, I challenge you to take a hard look at the energy you're putting out into the world. Are you exuding confidence, purpose, and self-assuredness? Or are you letting your insecurities hold you back? Remember, the power to attract the woman of your dreams lies within you. Choose to own your energy and watch your life transform. Guys, here's the paradox. The less you chase women, the more they chase you. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but trust me on this one. When you're constantly pursuing, you're coming from a place of lack. You're saying, "I need you to validate me. I need you to complete me." And that, my friends, is not attractive. What is attractive is a man who's self-sufficient, a man who's driven, a man who's building his own empire. That's the kind of man who women can't help but be drawn to. So how do you become that guy? It's simple, but it takes work. You build a life that's so compelling, so damn attractive, that women can't help but want to be a part of it. I call it building your 4 pillars: your body, your bank, your mind, and your purpose. First, your body. This isn't about becoming a bodybuilder. It's about respecting yourself enough to be in the best shape you can be. Women are attracted to men who take care of themselves, who move with confidence and strength. Second, your bank. Money is freedom, and freedom is attractive. Build your wealth not to impress her, but to empower yourself. When you're financially secure, you're free to pursue your passions, to take risks, to live life on your own terms. Third, your mind. Intelligence is sexy, but emotional intelligence, that's next level. A man who understands himself, who can communicate effectively, who can handle his emotions with maturity. That's a man who women gravitate towards. And finally, your purpose. What are you passionate about? What gets you out of bed in the morning? A man with a mission is a man who's going places, and women want to be along for the ride. When you're building your life, chasing your goals, and living with passion, you become a magnet. You radiate an energy that's impossible to ignore. And the best part is, you don't have to chase women anymore. They'll start chasing you. Because when your life is so good, you forget to chase. She starts wondering why. And trust me, that's when the real magic happens. Listen, I know this might sound like a load of self-help mumbo-jumbo, but this stuff actually works. Let me tell you a quick story about a night out I had a while back. I was with some friends at this bar, and I wasn't there to pick anyone up. I was just enjoying myself, catching up with my buddies and soaking up the atmosphere. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I wasn't trying to force any interactions. I was just being myself, comfortable in my own skin. Now, I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you because it illustrates a powerful point. when you're comfortable in your own skin, when you're not trying to prove anything to anyone, it shows. And it's incredibly attractive. So, there I was, minding my own business, when this woman approached me. Now, I'm not talking about a shy glance or a quick hello. This woman came right up to me, looked me straight in the eye and said, "You're the only guy here not being weird. What's your deal?" I laughed. She was right. Most of the guys in the bar were either trying too hard, being overly aggressive, or just generally giving off this desperate vibe. But I was different. I was relaxed, I was engaged in my own world, and I wasn't looking for validation from anyone. And that, my friends, is what made all the difference. She could sense that I was different, that I wasn't playing the same game as everyone else. Now, I'm not telling you this story to say that you should just ignore women and hope they come to you. That's not the point at all. The point is that when you focus on yourself, when you build a life you're proud of, and when you carry yourself with confidence and self-assurance, you become a magnet. You radiate an energy that women can't help but be drawn to. You become the kind of man who doesn't need to chase, because he's already chosen. Remember, attraction isn't about tricks or pickup lines. It's about energy, it's about confidence, and it's about being the best version of yourself. Look, you don't need to chase women. You need to chase greatness. Let your silence say, "I'm a man who knows who he is." When you move like a king, queens come find you. If this resonated with you, if you're ready to step into your power and become the man you were born to be, hit that like button and subscribe to The Evolved Man for more raw truths on becoming high value, mastering dating, and building your empire. Because remember, attraction isn't about what you say. It's about who you are. I'll see you in the next one, King.